Have you ever looked into someone's eyes? They smiled, they nodded, they even said they were proud of you. But something deep inside you twisted, like your soul whispered, "This person doesn't mean it." You can't explain it. There's no proof, no fight, no betrayal, nothing on the surface, but their energy feels off. Their applause sounds hollow, their laughter feels rehearsed. And when you rise, they pause for just a second before pretending to clap. This is no coincidence, you're not crazy. Carl Jung called it the shadow, the dark, unspoken side of the human psyche. It hides behind fake smile, polite compliments, and empty cheers. But inside it holds a storm: envy, resentment, hate, and secret competition. And if you keep ignoring that whisper in your gut, you'll pay the price, emotionally, mentally, sometimes even physically. Because when hate wears a mask of love, it becomes a slow poison. It doesn't stab you in the back, it drains you while hugging you. In this video, I'll reveal 8 disturbing signs that someone close to you secretly hates you. Not dislikes, hates. And trust me, most people don't recognize these signs until it's too late, until they're betrayed, used, or broken. But if you stay with me till the end, sign number 8 will flip a switch in your brain and change how you read people for the rest of your life. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Sarcasm, contempt, the poison. Behind the joke. You're so sensitive. Relax, I was just joking. You've heard that, haven't you? It sounds casual, playful even, but it cuts every single time. What if I told you those aren't jokes? They're weapons, wrapped in a smile. Because sarcasm isn't always harmless. Sometimes it's surgical hate. They know your insecurities, your weight, your background, your past mistakes. And they keep poking them over and over while everyone else laughs. You feel cornered, embarrassed. But if you react, you become the problem. Chill, don't be dramatic. But let's call it what it is: emotional manipulation. Carl Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. But people who refuse to understand themselves project that irritation outward. They make you their emotional dump. So their sarcasm isn't comedy, it's contempt. And their laughter, it's a camouflage. If their jokes always sting. If you feel anxious around their humor. If you laugh with everyone else but cry alone later, that's not friendship, that's psychological warfare. They aren't joking, they're hurting you. Slowly, skillfully, and without leaving a bruise." Chapter 2. Subtle sabotage. The knife in the back, wrapped in concern. Ever had that friend who forgot to mention something important? That one piece of info that could have changed everything? Or the one who accidentally gave you advice that made things worse? They missed your big moment. Didn't show up when it mattered most, claimed they were busy. Again, once? Okay, life happens. Twice? Coincidence. But 3 times? 4? Every time? That's not bad memory. That's intentional sabotage, and the worst part? They don't stab you in the back, they do it while hugging you. Carl Jung warned us, the person who feels inferior will often try to lower others rather than rise themselves. They don't want to see you win, because every step you take forward reminds them of where they're stuck. So what do? They keep you small, quietly, gently. Through forgetfulness, bad advice, fake encouragement. They'll say, "I was just trying to help." But deep down, they know exactly what they're doing. And what makes it terrifying is, they look like your support system. But they're the quiet storm destroying your confidence from the shadows. If someone keeps delaying your growth, missing your moments, feeding your doubt, it's not concern, it's control. They don't want to lose you, but only as long as you stay beneath them. Chapter 3. Silent competition. When every win becomes a war, you share good news. A promotion, a new project, a small win. You expect a smile, maybe a hug. But what you get is, "Oh yeah, guess what I just did?" Suddenly your moment isn't yours anymore. You shine and they dim the lights. You rise, they raise themselves higher, but not to celebrate with you, to overshadow you. It's never direct, never loud, but always there. That subtle shift in tone, that forced smile, that desperate need to match or beat you. Carl Jung nailed it. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. But instead of understanding, they compete. Because what they see in you, growth, happiness, purpose, is what they've neglected in themselves. So they turn every celebration into a scoreboard, every congratulations into an arms race. Not because they hate your success, but because your light makes their shadow feel darker. You didn't enter a competition, but they did. Silently, secretly, relentlessly. If you constantly feel like your wins start invisible wars, if your happiness triggers passive comparison games, you're not growing with a friend. You're surviving a silent enemy. This isn't support, it's ego wrestling in disguise. Chapter 4. Superficial kindness. The smile that never reaches the eyes. They say all the right things. I'm proud of you. So happy for you. Wow, that's amazing. But your heart doesn't buy it, because deep down, you can feel it. The warmth is missing. Their eyes look elsewhere. Their tone lacks soul. Their presence, nowhere to be found when it actually matters. Genuine people don't just say they care. They show up. They feel with you. They cry with you. They dance in your victories and hold your hand in your storms. But fake friends, they do a disappearing act. Missing during your highs, absent during your lows. And when they are around and their energy feels off, cold, indifferent, almost robotic. Carl Jung called it ego dissociation. It's when someone becomes so emotionally cut off, they lose the ability to connect with real human experience. They don't hate you, but they're not capable of loving you either. They float around your life, saying what sounds nice, but never giving what really matters, that's presence, empathy, connection. If someone is always absent when your soul needs them, if their kindness feels like an auto-reply, you're not in a friendship, you're in a performance. And no matter how good the script is, you'll always feel the hollowness behind their smile. Chapter 5. Controlling through care, the most dangerous manipulation. It always starts soft. This is for your own good. You'll understand one day. I just don't want you to get hurt. It sounds sweet, safe, protective, but deep inside, you feel something's not right. Your shoulders drop. Your excitement fades. Your voice trembles when defending your choices. Because what they call care is actually control. They don't scream. They don't fight. They influence, subtly, gently, like a snake wrapping around you, slowly while whispering lullabies. You share an idea. They tell you it's too risky. You dream out loud. They say you're being unrealistic. You make a decision. They suggest you're not thinking straight. And the most dangerous part, they're not always wrong. Sometimes their advice sounds smart. Sometimes their guidance seems mature, but it doesn't lift you, it shrinks you. Their words make you second-guess yourself, and soon you're asking for their permission instead of trusting your intuition. Carl Jung explained this perfectly. People who can't control their own chaos try to dominate others to feel safe. Their life is spinning, their emotions are messy, so instead of healing, they control because it gives them a false sense of order. They don't believe in your growth, they believe in their grip over you. So they play the long game, they don't force, they condition. They create a world where you start thinking, I need their advice. I shouldn't move forward without checking with them. What if they're right and I fail? But let me ask you, if someone's care consistently makes you feel powerless, doubtful, or dependent, is that really care? True support gives you wings. False concern gives you chains. Real love says, I believe in you. Even if you fall, I'll still be here. Fake love says, just do it my way. It's safer. They'll pretend it's protection, but in reality, it's possession. So if someone constantly wants to decide your path, control your pace, influence your thoughts, and always wears the mask of just caring, it's time to step back and ask, are they protecting me, or are they protecting their control over me? Because one empowers you, the other enslaves you, with a smile. Chapter 6. Gossip Criticism. What they say when you're not around. You walk into a room, smiles fade, the energy shifts. People look at you, then look away. Nobody says anything, but you feel it. Something's been said, something's been twisted. This is how gossip works. Silently, strategically, selfishly. When people don't have the courage to confront you, they choose the coward's path. They poison your image, instead of facing you directly. They don't attack your actions, they attack your character. They twist your words, question your intentions, make others doubt you, and without you even knowing. It's subtle. They never say anything too obvious. Just enough to create suspicion, just enough to turn hearts against you, while they smile in your face like nothing's wrong. Why do they do it? Carl Jung understood this better than anyone. He said, "The brighter your light, the darker your shadow becomes in the eyes of others." Insecure people can't handle someone who owns their truth. So they don't try to match your energy. They try to mute it. They gossip because your growth threatens them. Your presence exposes their absence. Your confidence highlights their insecurity, and your peace and disturbs their chaos. So what do? They turn to backdoor warfare. They stab you with words you'll never hear, and then shake your hand like nothing happened. But here's the truth, Guru. Gossip reveals more about the speaker than the subject. It's not your character on trial, it's theirs. People who are at peace with themselves don't feel the need to destroy others. But those who refuse to face their own demons, they project them onto you. So the next time you sense the shift, the next time you walk into a room that feels colder, know this, their whispers aren't your shame. They're their scream for help. And while they talk behind your back, keep walking forward. Because your silence, that's the sound of class echoing louder than any gossip ever could. Chapter 7. No joy in your success. The emotional absence that speaks volumes. They stood by you when you were broke, when life was hard, when everything was falling apart. They were there. But the moment you started rising, getting back on your feet, finally tasting the fruit of your struggle, silence. No, "Wow, I'm proud of you." No celebration, not even a genuine smile. You send them the news. They respond with, "Cool." You tell them about your new job, your win, your progress. They nod and then change the subject. You feel the coldness, that subtle emotional vacuum, and it hurts. Why? Because when you were low, you were relatable. You were no threat. Your failure made them feel better about their own. But now that you're growing, glowing, evolving, you remind them of everything they're not. They can't clap for you, because your success shines too bright against their shadowed self-worth. They may pretend, they may say, "That's amazing," but their energy, it never lies. Their eyes won't light up. Their tone will feel flat. And deep inside, you'll feel the truth. They don't want to see you win, because every step you take forward feels like a step away from them. Carl Jung said it clearly: if someone cannot rejoice in your joy, they're battling an internal war. Your success becomes a mirror, and what they see isn't your happiness, it's their own stagnation. So instead of rising with you, they retreat. Not because you've changed, but because your change reminds them they didn't. It's heartbreaking to realize that the ones who walked with you through pain can't walk beside you through progress. But here's what you must understand. Chapter 8. Body Language. The truth: they can't hide. Words are crafted, smiles are practiced, compliments can be rehearsed. But the body tells on you. See, when someone doesn't like you, truly, deeply, even secretly, they might never say it out loud. They might never confront you. In fact, they'll say everything right. "I'm happy for you. You deserve it. You've come so far." But while their mouth is reciting poetry, their body is screaming betrayal. The smile is too stiff. It vanishes before it even fully forms. Their eyes don't light up. They avoid eye contact. Their body turns slightly away from yours. Their tone lacks soul, their energy that feels off. You feel it in the room before they even open their mouth. And no, you're not imagining things. You're not being dramatic. What you're experiencing is a deep, ancient intelligence inside you, called intuition. Carl Jung said it best. The unconscious always speaks through the body. Even when someone lies with their words, their body will leak the truth. Here's the secret no one tells you. When someone feels envy, hate, insecurity, or competition toward you, their nervous system reacts instantly. They may be smiling, but their jaw tightens, their shoulders lift, a sign of tension. Their breathing gets shallow, they blink faster. They look away when you talk about your success. They clap, a second too late. They hug you, but there's no warmth. Their body leans away, not toward you. These are not accidents. They're emotional microsignals, tiny betrayals that your soul picks up before your brain finds the evidence. Because here's the truth. Your intuition was designed for survival. Long before language was invented, our ancestors relied on instincts, body language, facial tension, tone, silence. You're wired to sense danger, even when it's wearing perfume and a smile. That's why, when you're around someone who secretly doesn't like you, you feel it in your stomach, in your chest, in the temperature of the room. You feel suddenly drained, uncomfortable, confused, because you're hearing friend but feeling threat. And that disconnection between words and energy, that's the glitch in the matrix. That's your warning. But most people ignore it. Why? Because they're conditioned to prioritize politeness over perception. Conclusion. So now that you've seen the signs, what do? You don't need to fight them. You don't need to expose them. You don't even need to hate them. You just need to protect your peace. Because peace is expensive, and you've been giving it away to people who didn't deserve it. It's time to set boundaries, to stop over-explaining, to stop hoping they'll finally clap for you, and most importantly, to stop pouring your light into someone who keeps handing you shadows. Because here's the harsh truth, not everyone in your circle is in your corner. Some people sit beside you, not to support you but to study your every move, waiting for the moment you slip. And those people, they don't stab with knives. They stab with fake smiles, delayed claps, and silent resentment. So today, you have a choice. Keep trying to win over the ones who secretly compete with you. Or choose yourself, your growth, your emotional freedom. Because self-love starts where fake love ends. If this video opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who's been feeling this energy but didn't have the words for it. Drop a comment below and tell me, which sign exposed the most truth in your life? Which one hit you in the chest? And if you're ready for more raw, deep psychological insights and real talks about human behavior, hit that subscribe button, because this is just the beginning. We're going deeper, darker, and realer, to help you master yourself in a world full of masks. Your journey just got real, the end, or maybe the start of a new you.